Look at Stephen Strasburg, the young star who had all the hype and pressure to go along with it. In his Major League Baseball debut, he struck out 14 batters, breaking a franchise record and delivering the third highest count in league history. He was destined for greatness. But how does one of the most hyped prospects in history end up going from a potential legend in the making to one of the biggest busts ever, only to then find himself winning a World Series title? Hold your hat, because to understand the chaos of Strasburg's career, we have to take a nostalgic trip down memory lane to understand the extraordinary highs, the crushing lows, and the resilience that made him a legend. College transformation, 2007 to 2009. Between 2007 and 2009, Strasburg attended San Diego State University, and he was far from the phenom he would become. Standing 6 feet 4 inches and considered overweight for an elite athlete, conditioning drills left him gasping, collapsing, and even throwing up during sprints. Strength coach Dave Oden didn't mince words when he asked, "Do you have a medical condition, or are you just out of shape?" While there, pitching coach Rusty Filter became a turning point for Strasburg, challenging him with high-pressure tactics that tested his limits. Slowly but surely, he started building the confidence that defined his transformation. By his sophomore year in 2008, Strasburg was a completely different athlete. Shaving off 30 pounds was just the start. His fastball, previously stuck in the low 90s, was now hitting a jaw-dropping 101 miles per hour. As SDSU's ace, he delivered a legendary 23 strikeout game that shattered school and conference records. That summer, he led Team USA to victory in the World University Baseball Championship, announcing to the world that Stephen Strasburg had arrived. In 2009, he was crowned, posting a 1.32 ERA with 195 strikeouts in 109 innings. Strasburg's junior season at SDSU was pure dominance. He capped it off with a 17-strikeout no-hitter in his final college game, solidifying his collegiate legend status. Scouts marveled at his 103-mile-per-hour fastball that left hitters stunned. When the Washington Nationals selected him as the #1 overall pick in the 2009 Major League Baseball draft, the world wasn't shocked. His record-breaking $15.1 million contract wasn't just a payday. It was a testament to his meteoric rise. From an overweight freshman nearly quitting the sport to the most hyped pitching prospect in history, Strasburg had silenced every doubt. But as his journey unfolded, challenges were waiting just around the corner. The greatest Major League Baseball debut ever, 2010. On June 8, 2010, over 40,000 fans packed the stadium while millions tuned in from home. Stephen Strasburg, the most anticipated rookie in baseball history, was about to make his Major League Baseball debut. The hype wasn't about whether he'd succeed. It was about how much he'd dominate. From the first pitch, his fastball blazed past hitters at 100 miles per hour, and his curveball was devastating. Each inning, the tension grew. Could anyone figure him out? By the end of 7 innings, Strasburg had struck out 14 batters, setting a new franchise record and delivering the third highest strikeout count ever for a Major League Baseball debut. Nationals fans burst with every strikeout as if witnessing the start of a new era. Nationals fans celebrated a generational talent, while the sport collectively recognized his arrival as a moment that would define an era. But even as Strasburg's star soared, challenges dominated. The same arm that brought him glory brought him heartbreak, and his dream season was about to take a sharp turn. Injury setbacks, 2010-2011. That same year in late August, Stephen Strasburg, the team's brightest star, walked off the mound holding his elbow. The crowd, who had celebrated his meteoric rise just months earlier, now sat in stunned disbelief. What had started as the beginning of a legendary career suddenly felt like the end of a dream. The diagnosis was brutal: a torn ulnar collateral ligament. Strasburg needed Tommy John surgery, a severe procedure that sidelined pitchers for 12 to 18 months with no guarantees of a full recovery. For Strasburg, this was another test of strength. Nationals fans who had seen their phenom break records in his debut now faced a great uncertainty. After 13 months of relentless rehab, Strasburg made his return. Nationals Park was electric as he threw his first pitch, a sharp 96-mile-per-hour fastball that landed squarely in the strike zone. And with that came renewed hope. By the end of the season, he had a stunning 1.50 ERA over 5 starts, showing flashes of the dominance that had once captivated baseball. But even with this triumphant comeback, Strasburg knew his journey wasn't over. The surgery might have repaired his arm, but the scars, both physical and emotional, would remain. The phenom, who had once seemed invincible, now faced the daunting challenge of proving he could sustain a full major league career. Dominance and frustration, 2012 to 2018. Then, in 2012, Strasburg reached new heights. His fastball still clocked in the upper 90s, and his pinpoint control left hitters guessing. He earned his first All-Star selection and posted a 3.16 ERA with 197 strikeouts in 159.1 innings. Strasburg played a pivotal role in leading the Nationals to their first playoff appearance in franchise history. But just as his star was rising, the Nationals made a controversial decision to shut him down after 159 innings to protect his arm following Tommy John surgery. He missed the postseason entirely, watching from the dugout as the Nationals lost a heartbreaking Game 5 in the NLDS. The move divided the baseball world. Fans were split. Some questioned why the Nationals would bench their ace during a playoff run, while others praised the team for prioritizing his long-term health. Strasburg responded in 2014 by silencing critics with a career-defining season. He pitched over 200 innings for the first time, led the league with 242 strikeouts, and posted an impressive 3.14 ERA. From 2015 to 2016, injuries began to overshadow Strasburg's talent. Back spasms and oblique strains limited him to just 23 starts in 2015, yet even with these challenges, Strasburg ended the season strong, striking out 50 batters in his final 4 games. In 2016, he started strong, racking up 15 wins and a 3.60 ERA before an elbow injury sidelined him again. And without their ace, the Nationals fell short in the playoffs once more. In 2017, Strasburg reminded everyone why he was among the league's elite. He finished the season with a 2.52 ERA, struck out 204 batters, and earned his second All-Star selection. His most iconic moment came in the postseason when he delivered a legendary performance in Game 4 of the NLDS against the Cubs. With the Nationals facing elimination, Strasburg pitched 7 shutout innings and struck out 12 batters, single-handedly keeping their season alive. 2018 brought more setbacks. Now it was nerve issues in his elbow that kept him sidelined for significant stretches, reigniting doubts about his durability. For Strasburg, the emotional toll of being unable to contribute weighed heavily. The constant cycle of dominance and injury tested his resolve, but he never stopped pushing forward. By the end of 2018, Strasburg's legacy remained a question mark. He had proven he could be one of the best when healthy, but his ability to stay on the mound consistently was still in doubt. As the next season approached, few could have predicted the historic year that awaited him. Redemption, the 2019 World Series. By 2019, the Washington Nationals began the season as underdogs. A disastrous 19-31 start had many writing them off, but the team clawed their way back, fueled by determination and grit. They secured a wild card spot, proving that resilience wasn't just a strategy, it was their identity. At the center of this comeback was Stephen Strasburg. His regular season stats were stellar. 18 wins, the most in the league, a 3.32 ERA, and 251 strikeouts, the second highest total of his career. Strasburg wasn't just their ace, he was the anchor of a team that refused to give up. When October arrived, Strasburg was a force of nature. Over 5 postseason appearances, he posted a perfect 5-0 record and a 1.98 ERA, becoming the first pitcher in Major League Baseball to achieve a 5-0 postseason. It began in the wildcard game against the Milwaukee Brewers, where Strasburg came out of the bullpen to deliver 3 shutout innings in a nail-biting win. In the NLDS against the Los Angeles Dodgers, Strasburg was untouchable in Game 2, throwing 6 innings of one-run baseball. But his defining moments came during the World Series against the Houston Astros, a powerhouse team with one of the most dangerous lineups in modern baseball. Game 6 of the World Series, clutch performance. With the Nationals trailing 3-2 in the series, Game 6 was do or die. Strasburg stepped onto the mound with the weight of the franchise on his shoulders. Over 8 innings, Strasburg allowed just 2 runs and struck out 7. It was a masterclass in pitching under pressure. Nationals manager Dave Martinez said it best, "He put us on his back tonight." Strasburg's brilliance didn't just keep the Nationals alive, it set the stage for their historic victory. World Series MVP and baseball immortality. The Nationals completed their improbable journey the very next night, defeating the Astros in Game 7 to secure the franchise's first ever World Series title. Strasburg's contributions were undeniable. Across 2 World Series starts, he pitched 14 innings with a 2.51 ERA, earning him the World Series MVP. He became the first #1 overall draft pick in history to win the award, a testament to his unmatched talent and resilience. Nationals GM Mike Rizzo captured this sentiment perfectly. Strasburg cemented himself as one of the greatest postseason pitchers in history. For Nationals fans, the championship wasn't just a victory, it was redemption. For Strasburg, it was the culmination of a career defined by both extraordinary highs and devastating lows. Under the brightest lights, he silenced the critics and fulfilled the promise that had once seemed out of reach. The post-2019 decline, 2020 to 2022. After Stephen Strasburg's legendary World Series MVP performance in 2019, he had reached the pinnacle of his career. The Nationals celebrated by signing him to a historic 7-year, $245 million contract, cementing his place as the face of the franchise. But the glory was short-lived. Just as Strasburg seemed poised to build on his legacy, his body began to betray him in ways no one could have foreseen. In 2020, he managed only 2 starts before experiencing sharp nerve pain in his throwing hand. Strasburg described it as a sudden zap that disrupted his mechanics and stripped him of his power. In August, he underwent surgery to correct the issue, ending his season after just 5 innings. Strasburg's return in 2021 came with renewed hope, but reality hit harder than ever. After just 5 starts, severe neck stiffness and nerve pain led to a devastating diagnosis: thoracic outlet syndrome, TOS. For pitchers, TOS is a career-threatening condition affecting the nerves and blood vessels in the neck and shoulder. Surgery was the only option. In 2022, Strasburg's struggles continued. He made only 1 start before being sidelined by a stress reaction in his ribs, a complication linked to his TOS surgery. Over 3 seasons, Strasburg's numbers painted a stark picture: 8 starts, 31.1 innings pitched, a 6.89 ERA. For a pitcher once known for his dominance, these stats were a somber reminder of how quickly the tides had turned. Beyond the physical pain, the emotional toll weighed heavily on Strasburg. Days once filled with adrenaline and competition were replaced with endless rehab sessions. The competitor who had once electrified stadiums now faced a quieter, more personal battle. Strasburg admitted that his dreams of returning to greatness had faded. His new goal was far simpler: living pain-free. During this challenging period, Strasburg found solace in spending time with his father, Jim Strasburg, who moved to Northern Virginia to support him through recovery. This bond became even more meaningful when Jim passed away in mid-2022. Stephen Strasburg's numbers tell an extraordinary story. A 3-time All-Star, he struck out 1,723 batters in his career, placing him among Major League Baseball's elite. His strikeouts per 9 innings rate of 10.55 is incredible and ranks 4th all-time, underscoring his ability to dominate hitters. His crowning achievement came in 2019 when he earned the World Series MVP, leading the Nationals to their first championship. For as many dominant seasons that he had, there were an equal amount of seasons plagued with injuries and missed opportunities. But Strasburg's legacy isn't just about stats, it's about resilience. From an undrafted high school pitcher struggling with fitness to a phenom who struck out 14 batters in his major league debut, Strasburg showed that grit and determination could conquer any obstacle. His World Series heroics weren't just a win for the Nationals, they were a symbol of perseverance. While Strasburg has stepped away from the mound, his impact lingers. Nationals fans will forever celebrate the ace who delivered their first championship, and his story will inspire future generations to rise above setbacks and chase greatness.